Previously on Let's Play Steins Gate Zero.
Suddenly, her face was expressionless, and her eyes were wide. Voice. I can hear God's voice. Kagari? That's no good.
And now, back to everyone being sad.
Hello, everybody. Pokey here with another episode of Steins Gate Zero. And, I'm not sure what to think about all this. Because apparently Kagari knows where we are and dropped the freaking Oopa fairy keychain here at the lab, and I don't know. I guess it makes sense that she's around. Sort of. Not really. I'm not sure why it's still like a big deal I'm not sure if I really explained my point well last time, but I figured like if there was some random kid like just running around the city, eventually she'd get found and like, I don't know, put in foster home or like adopted or something. And like I think that people would probably attribute like her memories of the future being apocalyptic and stuff to being like just an active imagination or something, and eventually she convinced herself that it's not real. But I don't know, I guess it all depends. Also the fact that I'm not sure what happened with Kagari last time when she went absolutely nuts and like destroyed the IBN 5100. Also, I discovered that 5100 and 5100 have the same number of syllables, so I'll just say 5100. Oh, and also there was a flashback, and I got confused because in the flashback Suzuha said that she was satisfied and that she was going to take a shower, and I was confused because before the flashback they said that she was going to take a shower, so I got them mixed up. But it doesn't really matter, I guess. Maybe are there any tips that we need to check out? None. Alright. She's trying to stop us from reaching Steins Gate. She doesn't want this world to end. Which means she's watching not just me, but you too? Huh? Me? Well, I don't think your life is in danger. Probably. If you believe what we know about how world lines work, you live till at least 2036. But she might come to interfere with your research so we can't reach Steins Gate. A lot of bad things had been happening around Suzuha, Itaru, and Rintaro Okabe. There was some possibility that the final target was Itaru. From now on, just to be safe, lock the door whenever I'm not around. Okay. Got it. Even if Uncle Ocarine, Mom, or Big Sis Mayu are here, don't leave it open. It might not help much, but make sure you use the door chain too. You know, Ocarine and Mayushi are one thing, but if I did that when I was alone with Amanashi, don't you think that'd give her the wrong idea? Ah, that's true! If that makes her not like me, my whole family could be in trouble. Suzuha groaned softly, aka unsure of what to do. If you'd only gotten to be her boyfriend sooner, there wouldn't be a problem. Wait, we're back to that? Just be careful, okay? I'm not sure my opinion like means much in this kind of situation, but like if it's gonna be awkward to like lock the door every time when you have like somebody in the house, just tell them that like, I don't know, that you've heard rumors of like robbers being nearby or something. I don't freaking know. Suzuha decided to keep the green Oopa keychain. I don't think I read that already. I don't know. She softly ran her fingertips over it as she stared at it. Hey, Suzuha, Kagari-tan's not related to Mayushi, but she's still her daughter, right? That's right. Could somebody raised by Mayushi grow up to the kind of person who'd assault someone? I just can't imagine it from what you've told me. I'd expect her to be a kind, easygoing, and cute little girl. Well, last time, she definitely was not that. Seriously, I think maybe it's sort. You know what it reminded me of? Oh, I can't remember her name. The kid that's the daughter of Braun. I don't remember her name, but like when she her future self came back and possessed her child self. So like she was she acted like she was possessed. And like that sort of reminded me, that's what Kagari reminded me of last time. I don't know, I don't think that's what actually happened at all. But I don't know, the similarities are there. I wish that was what had happened. Yeah, I thought that was how she'd turn out too. But now she's probably... Now she's probably what? From what she'd seen at the radio building, she could tell Kagari had definitely received professional combat training. I'm not sure if I'm on board. I mean, that Upa somehow wound up at the lab from Kagari's hands. I don't know how. It's possible that Kagari was there. But, like, I'm not sure that automatically means that Kagari was the one who like, was at the radio building when that freaking thing happened and was riding a motorcycle. I don't know. I kind of assumed that was a member of CERN, and it's possible that Kagari is with CERN, but I'm not sure. My instincts tell me that's not what's happening. I think, yeah, I'm gonna go with my gut and say these are probably two different people. It wasn't just the simple self-defense techniques that she'd learned from Suzuha when she was a child. As she'd grown up, she'd been taught the cold techniques of a killer. There was no way to know where she'd been or what she'd been doing ever since she'd gone missing in 1998. But there was no doubt in Suzuha's mind that she was trying to ruin her plans. Suzuha sighed as she took her shower. Since it was summer, she'd set the water temperature low. It was barely any hotter than tap water. As long as the water was pouring down on her, she could feel like all the bad memories were being washed away. She slapped her cheeks with both hands and turned off the water. The small tiled room suddenly became quiet. In the silence, she vigorously toweled off her hair. This building was never intended for anyone to live in. Not only was there very little room, there wasn't even a place to change. It was small and there were no windows, and the steam from the shower room built up, making it an unpleasant sauna in summer. Supposedly, Itaru and Okabe would sit naked next to the fans to get away from the heat and moisture. Of course, that was only when the girls, as well as Luka Urushibara, weren't allowed. I like that they made the distinction. But Suzuha couldn't do that. There were those huge scars on her chest. If she was careless and Yuki saw them, she'd have a big problem. So she always forced herself to change within the small space. Whoa. What the... It's night. Second she left the shower room, she realized something was wrong. The lights were off in the part behind the curtain where the lab room was. She was sure she had left all the lab lights on when she'd gone to take a shower. She didn't remember turning them off. Still completely naked, she flung open the curtain. She dropped to the floor, ready to move. She could tell by the light from the shower room that there was no one else there. She didn't hear any breathing, and she didn't feel any other presence. Did Dad come back? And then when he left, he turned off the lights? No, that couldn't be right. She looked around the room and saw that things had been moved in a way that an amateur wouldn't be able to notice. Itaru's computer desk, the sofa area, the bookshelves, even the mini kitchen, someone had gone through them all. From the look of it, the same was probably true of the development room. Suzuha glanced over all the areas where she kept her guns. The closest was the sofa that she used as a bed. She'd wanted to have one easily available if she was attacked while she slept, so she had cut out the back of one of the sofa cushions and hidden a suppressed semi-automatic pistol in it. It was just a .32 or 32, whichever you prefer, caliber for self-defense, so it wouldn't do much damage unless you had good aim, but it was small and relatively quiet, which made it the best choice for a place like this. Suzuha tensed all of her muscles, coiling like a spring, and slowly moved towards the sofa without making a sound. As she did, she tried to notice any changes in the surrounding area. There was a small sound in the development room. It was a tiny, tiny creaking of the floor, to which you'd usually pay no mind, but that was more than enough for Suzuha. In an instant, she moved from quiet to action. She cleared the distance to the sofa in an instant and quickly drew her gun. She held it ready and slipped into the shadow of the refrigerator. From this position, she could barely see into the development room. Oh my goodness. My first thought, robot. My second thought, CERN. My third thought, Moeka. My fourth thought, Kagari. The room became silent again. But this time the intruder in the other room didn't try to hide their presence. Try anything else. Shoot! Hands on your head. Come out slowly. Suzuha threatened the intruder in a low voice, but the intruder seemed completely unconcerned as they exposed themselves to Suzuha's gaze. That looks like a motorcycle outfit, so this is probably the same person who was at the radio building. Freaking radio building. You must be pretty hot wearing that in this weather. Why not at least take off your helmet? The intruder was wearing a motorcycle suit. Yeah, just like before. Even the helmet was the same. The leather suit clung tight to their skin, revealing a voluptuous and perfectly proportioned body. Nice detail. It was clearly a woman. What you're looking for isn't there. It's in my pocket. Suzuha pointed toward the entrance to the shower room. The shirt she'd just taken off was lying there on the floor. The girl in the motorcycle suit turned her head, but because the face mask was down, Suzuha couldn't read her expression. You should know better than to drop that. It's something Mommy gave you. Right, Kagari? The second she spoke, Kagari Shina was the first to move. I guess we're just assuming that's Kagari. Yeah, I think I'm going back to my thought that it's Moeka. She seems more likely to me. Or literally just any other member of CERN, probably. She drew a deglossed military knife that she must have been hiding around behind her back and closed the gap between herself and Suzuha in an instant. Suzuha pointed the gun at her legs and pulled the trigger, carefully aiming away from her vitals. She heard the small pop of a suppressed .32 and saw Kagari lose her balance and fall. Or she thought she did, but it was a feint. Oof! She'd only pretended to lose her balance. In fact, she changed directions and was heading for the shower room. It seemed her first goal was to get what she'd come for. Huh? After firing only one shot, Suzuha realized even a .32 should have more recoil than this. What? Did she swap out the guns? She fired again, but Kagari didn't flinch even for a moment. Blank how? At some point, all the bullets in Suzuha's gun had been swapped with blanks. That instant's panic was all it took. Kagari reached out for the shirt on the floor in front of the shower room. No way! That looks like something from RPG Maker. Suzuha gave up on firing and flung the gun at Kagari. There was a dull thud as the hard barrel slammed into her neck. Caught off balance, she staggered before she could grab the shirt. Ah! She could hear Kagari's voice for the first time from within the helmet. Suzuha jumped. She kicked the off-balance Kagari as hard as she could with her toned, muscled legs. There was no time to hold back. Kagari went flying all the way to the edge of the room. They had to have broken a few ribs. That had to have broken a few ribs. Suzuha jumped toward her to continue her attack. But with terrifying speed, Kagari leapt off the ground and charged at Suzuha. There wasn't enough time to come to a full stop. Ugh. A sharp blade swept by, mere centimeters from her exposed abdomen. If she pulled back even a few tenths of a second later, the knife would have fatally sliced open her gut. You bitch! Best line. The blood rushed to Suzuha's head. Kagari was serious. She was planning to kill her. There was no hesitation in her movements. Suzuha leapt back and searched for something she could use as a weapon, but the other guns were probably no different. There was a good chance they'd all had their ammo swapped with blanks too. It was even possible that all her self-defense knives had been taken too. Which left? There were several knives carefully stored in the kitchen. Yuki had brought them over to use in teaching the other girls how to cook. But Kagari had evidently noticed them as well, and she was moving to keep Suzuha from reaching them. Huh, looks like you've had a lot of practice. It's hard to believe you're the same girl who spent all her time sobbing inside the time machine. I'm surprised. Suzuha kept her distance from Kagari as she slowly moved along the wall. Her competitive drive burned even brighter as she tried to come up with a way to overcome her disadvantage. Here, Kagari, this is what you're after, right? She picked up her shirt from in front of the shower room and took the green keychain out of its pocket. What's wrong? Come get it. Her fingers moved as if to crush it. She could see Kagari twitch. For the first time, she could detect a hint of emotion beyond the helmet. Maybe it is Kagari? Or maybe that Upa is something important to friggin' Moe. It's probably not Moe. It's probably Kagari. I just really can't believe that like, Suzuha is right, you know? It seemed like such a dumb theory that, like, Kagari was automatically part of the villains or something. I don't know. Maybe I don't give Suzuha enough credit. Although, she did tell Daru who he was supposed to marry, so, you know. And in an instant, she threw it at Kagari's stomach. The keychain flew in a slow arc, like she was tossing it to a friend. If something they loved was thrown like that, even the fiercest warrior would instinctively reach out both hands to grab it. Kagari was no exception. She carefully held her mother's memento in both her empty left hand and the right hand that still clenched the knife. Clenched, whichever, it doesn't matter. Using the slow arc of the keychain as camouflage, Suzuha ran at her in a straight line. Her right fist connected hard with Kagari's stomach. Then her left arm smashed Kagari's head to the side. Gah! Kagari's body fell to the ground, her right shoulder taking the brunt of the fall. Suzuha could hear the sound of her joints dislocating. Ew. The knife slipped from her grasp. Thanks, Steins. Thank you for the imagery. I was just thinking, it's like, wow, like, Suzuha's naked this whole scene, and they haven't exploited that for, like, fan service or anything. It's just a really dramatic and cool scene. This wasn't necessary. Suzuha got behind her and mounted her, twisting her right arm mercilessly. Okay, yeah. I'm just like, face palming her. Whatever. It's Steins Gate, who cares? At the same time, she slipped her own left arm around Kagari's neck and squeezed hard. She could hear something like a moan from Kagari's throat. She could both hear and feel the bones in her arm and neck creaking. Stay put. I'm not going to kill you. But Kagari picked up the knife on the floor with her left hand and once again tried to use it on Suzuha. Suzuha was forced to squeeze her arm and neck even harder. Stop it, Kagari. I understand how you feel now, but it's wrong. It's wrong. But Kagari didn't stop. If anything, she tried even harder to pull Suzuha away. What kind of training did she get? CERN training? Also, last time I said Stern instead of CERN, and I just, for some reason, I find that hilarious. They're very stern, evil people. Even in all the battles she'd been in, this much pressure on 2 different spots was enough to get even the toughest soldier to submit or fall unconscious. By the way, this music. Pretty darn epic. I don't know if I've heard it before sometime in this game. I played these too far apart to notice. Terrified, Suzuha squeezed even harder. At this rate, she wouldn't simply knock her out. She really would kill Kagari. But if she stopped, Kagari would kill her. What should she do? Oh my, what, really? Big sis Suzuha, it hurts. It hurts. And then she heard a sad, weak voice from inside the helmet. It startled her, and she relaxed both her arms. That was a mistake, but that was just what Kagari had hoped for. The knife came very close to cutting Suzuha's left arm. When she let go to dodge it, Kagari shook her off and kicked at her hips with both legs. Suzuha slammed back hard into the computer desk, and for a moment she couldn't breathe. She fell to the floor, and the printer and monitor crashed mercilessly into her naked body. Gah! 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 Ha! 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 She forced herself to stand up, gasping hard as she did so. Kagari's breathing was heavy too. Her right arm was pointed in impossible direction. Ugh. Ugh, I don't like that sort of thing. And hanging limp. Bleh. She wouldn't be able to use it for a while, probably. But her left arm was still holding the knife. You've learned some dirty tricks, haven't you? Suzuha glared at Kagari's face. Not that she could see what it looked like behind that helmet. The two of them fell silent as they tried to catch their breath. The tension in the air was so thick that it was difficult to move a muscle. Sweat rolled down her forehead and into her eyes, but she still didn't blink as she waited for Kagari to make her next move. it was the sound of the front door opening that broke their stalemate. Hey Suzuha, did I just hear a loud noise? Yes, Itaru to the rescue! Suzuha felt a chill run down her spine when she heard Itaru's voice. Huh? Why is it so dark? No, Dad, stay back! Oh wait, no, Itaru in danger! She yelled at the exact same instant he turned on the lights. The sudden brightness was enough to make Suzuha flinch for an instant. Kagari was wearing a full-face helmet, and that made all the difference. She leapt towards Itaru just a moment before Suzuha. No. Oh, ah! Kagari's black knife went up to his throat. Dad! Yeah! Kagari spun around behind him, using Itaru's huge body as a shield. Suzuha staggered toward him, gritting her teeth. Let go, Kagari. Lay one finger on Dad, and I don't care who you are, Kagari, I'll kill you. But Kagari remained silent as she headed outside the door with her hostage. And then, in the next moment, she shoved him forward. Ah! Oh. Itaru lost his balance and fell towards Suzuha. Suzuha fell to the ground beneath his weight. Itaru just barely managed to support himself with his arms and legs to keep from crushing her. Move! Suzuha tried to shove him off, using a little more force than she may have intended. But Itaru was so huge it would take him a moment to get up. This is why I told you to lose weight! What? She was getting away. She somehow managed to crawl out from under him and quickly tried to follow after Kagari. Suzuha, wear this! Suzuha was still lying on the ground as he tossed the naked Suzuha her shirt. She grabbed it and quickly put it on, then ran outside. But when she looked around the street, the girl in the motorcycle leathers wasn't there. There was no way to even know where she'd gone. She got away. It would be dangerous to run around trying to find her now. There was a chance Itaru would be attacked while she wasn't at the lab. What was that? Kagari Town? Itaru came outside as well. Yeah, I'm almost certain. I see. So this is how it's going to be with the two of us in the end. The bruises and wounds were bad enough, but the pain that ached in her heart was the worst. Oh my gosh. What about my heart, huh? It's, you know, I think there's something to be said to the fact that I don't really care about Kagari, like, at all. You know, I mean, like, I was sad when she had to get separated from Mayuri and stuff, but it's like, I care about Suzuha. It's like, not even just because, like, that other Suzuha version of Suzuha who was in Steins Gate, but, like, this Suzuha, like, every time that she's in pain, like, with her emotional difficulties, even if I don't get, like, why she's so bent up over it, it's, like, still makes my heart ache, you know? I don't know. That's just how I feel. You know, I really did like her. Yeah. She was small, but so brave, and she always did her best to protect Big Sis Mayu. And I taught her a lot. I thought of her as, like, a little sister. Yeah. But now, she's completely my enemy. Itaru straightened up her shirt sleeves. You know, you look like a slutty girl in an H game right now, Suzuha. Huh? What? Suzuha was caught completely off guard. True, her t-shirt only came down to just below her hips, roughly the length of a miniskirt. Her breasts were almost completely bared. The shirt's hem was turned up and she felt exposed. Well, I don't mind H games and slutty girls, and I don't think the whole naked except for a t-shirt thing is all that bad. Heh. You're being silly again. You could have gotten badly hurt. But Itaru shook his head. I got freaked out by the knife, but I don't think I really needed to be that scared. Unless I'm mistaken. Itaru rubbed the part of his neck where the knife blade was. When she had the knife to my throat, I could hear it, just a little. Hear what? She was probably crying. Huh? Crying? Under that helmet? After that whole battle with Suzuha? While holding a knife to Itaru's neck? But why? So, don't you think it's too early to jump to conclusions? Man, I've said it before, I love Itaru in this game. I just like these characters even more than Steins, because I mentioned how Itaru was just sort of a gag character in the last one, and now he's still a funny guy, and he still says weird, like, horny stuff like he did just now. But, you know, he does it from, he means well, I guess? He's definitely a good guy. Blarg, I just quick saved by accident, because I dropped the controller in my arms. Dad. Did you buy me that vanilla ice cream? Yeah, of course. I'd love to eat it. I'm a little tired. And then she almost fell forward. Whoa! Woof. Itaru managed to catch her before she hit the ground. Hey Suzuha. I'm fine, but let me rest a little. That was all she had the energy to say. She closed her eyes in her dad's arms, and her consciousness melted away. Well, that was certainly a thing. Alright guys, I think that's about all I have time for today. So, this was fun. I liked it. Very good. I'm surprised that it was really Kagari. I really didn't think it was. But, I don't know, I guess I'll see you guys next time. I've been Pokey, this has been Steins Gate Zero, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!